Okay, live. Just a second for it to show up on Instagram. Okay, live on Instagram.
Okay.
Facebook, YouTube.
Starting to go live. Do I need to manage the chat in front of me today? Okay. That'll be interesting. I might have, can you sit here and help me man this chat?
Mm-hmm. What do you need to do?
If start getting, sometimes questions 10 will pop up at one time and I can't see them. So if you sit next to me, they won't see you. Hello, VetComm team, on with me on Zoom. Some of you haven't been on when we've gone live, but it should be, good learning experience for some of you and good learning experience for our veterans. So about to get live. Hello, Kevin. Got Kevin on YouTube over here. All right, are we live on TikTok?
Yep, people are trickling in.
Trickling in. We decided to go live a little bit earlier today. That way we gave a little bit more runway for the veterans who want to get themselves going today. We have all of the on Zoom where everybody that's live can't see. A lot of our enrollment crew are here and waiting for your call. What is the number that they need to? Is it 800-360-2227 or 858? 858-602227. Okay. I'm going to put that in the chat here. 858. Is Isabel on? Okay. Text claim review. Okay. Okay, so let's just kick this off. We don't have a ton of people joining us yet, but I'm Kate Monroe. I'm the CEO of VetComm. If this is the first time you're ever joining us, we're having sort of an open forum chat. We have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok all live at the same time so that we can sort of simulcast to the veteran community. I know here in maybe 3 or 4 minutes, we'll start getting some questions. But before we do, I want to explain to anybody that is watching what it is that we do. So VetComm, I think that our goal and mission is really to take all of the hassle and the anxiety away from the VA rating process. A lot of veterans, there's 3 big reasons why you haven't got rated for the most part. A lot of people don't feel deserving. Some people tried and they failed. And sometimes this is the first time you're hearing about it, or somebody's just starting to tell you, hey, you should go get rated. And then there's people that are going to be watching today and you are rated, but you're only rated for 10, 20, 30%. And you have been told, hey, I should probably go get a little bit more rating. So when you come to VetComm, we are going to remove all that hassle, because I always sort of view the VA as a big insurance company. And what do we know about insurance companies? Like if you were to get in a car accident and have to go through the other party's insurance, it would be quite a hassle. So a lot of times we end up getting a lawyer. We get, some third-party support there. But somehow when we go face the VA, we decide to try to do it alone, or to decide to try to do it for free. And if you were to get in a car accident, you might be owed $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. But for the most part, when you're facing the VA, you could be owed anywhere from $500,000 to $2 million, like I am in lifetime income. So when there's that much at stake and you already feel anxious, you don't really want to just be chancing it. This would be like just throwing darts in the dark. And that's not what we do at VetComm. We know exactly where the bullseye is. We're expert dartsmen, and really allowing us to do those things for you is the best case. So I have Dennis here asking, ever had any luck connecting essential tremors secondary to PTSD? So essential tremors can be connected to PTSD and many other neurological disorders. Tremors are a neurological disorder. So depending on when and where you served, we're going to connect it to that. So you might have served in, say, Gulf War era, and we can connect it to some of those other things. So if I were you, Dennis, I have a ton of people standing by. Anybody watching, I have a whole strategy team waiting to talk to you for free. And let's go through some of the things you are connected for. So you would text free claim review to 858-360-2227, 858-360-2227. Let's see. Sherry Thomas, I have a job proposal from me to you. Sherry, text that number in and say, I want to talk to Kate so they can get you over to me. 858-360-2227. Go ahead.
Chad from TikTok.
Hello,
says,
Chad from TikTok.
I can't even get my GI Bill. And then we have Marco saying, I just got started with this whole process. What should I do first?
Okay, so that's two different questions. The first question was, I can't even use my GI Bill. So funny enough story, I actually tried to use my GI Bill and when I had been out roughly 10 years. And at the time I tried to use it, I did not know that it expired at the 10-year mark and I missed it by a week. And the government couldn't have given a damn of a damn. And I was rated for 0%. My husband said, hey, if you go get rated, there's this thing called Voc Rehab. And so I only pursued my initial rating to get Voc Rehab, which I did. I successfully went to college and graduated. It's an amazing program. So I would say for the person who asked me about the college, text in here and say, I want to talk to Kate about college, and we'll talk about how we can maybe get you that Voc Rehab going once we get you rated. And then the second question was that you just started trying to get rated, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're just saying, hey, I want to get rated and I'm just sort of making my first foray into this, whether you do it with us or another source, you need to make an intent to file. An intent to file is telling the VA, I intend to file a claim with you, and this is going to establish my back pay date, meaning that when I win, I'm owed back to this day. So your first thing, the first course of action is to get your intent to file done. And you could do it while you're watching this live right from your phone. But when you get here with VetComm, instead of you having to watch lives and you're watching stuff and not really winning, you'd be better off getting a free strategy call from us, because we're going to tell you what you should be rated for, how much, how we're going to do it, whether you use us or not. If you do elect to go with VetComm, we're going to get on a Zoom environment, just like this, how you're watching me now. We're going to make your intent to file with you. We're going to make your claims right online with you, where we do the typing, you do the talking. We're going to set you up one-on-one for every single CMP exam prep, because you could make your claim, a free source could make your claim. No one's going to coach you. So you're going to walk in and see a doctor having no idea who they really are to you, not really realizing they're not your own practitioner. And if it's something like mental health, you will likely just walk in there and fail. So your first stop is get that intent to file done. But I would say your first stop really is talk to VetComm. It's free. It's not a hostage situation, right? When you talk to us, we're going to give you our best. You can go with us or not. Again, that number, free claim review, to 858-360-2227.
We got a good celebration here for My Alpha Life. Said, you guys got me to 100% P&T. Thank you with the praise.
Yes, I love when we have our VetComm veterans on here talking about the good work we've done, getting you to 100%. That's really exciting. I have Flavio saying, yes, VRNE. I will be talking to the rep second week of June. Just so you know, to get VRNE, so I used Voc Rehab successfully, but I will tell you I did about 15 hours of research so that I knew how to win, because there's a way to win to convince them to give you college. They don't want to give you college. They want to give you some employment opportunity classes and some bullshit caca, really. In our course system, we have a Voc Rehab literal map how to win, exactly how to win Voc Rehab. So you may want to look into that, Flavio. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, Joshua Holloway on TikTok.
Hello, Joshua.
I need help to get doctor to do Nexus letters.
Okay, let's just have a talk really quick about what is a Nexus letter and do you need one or not. So let's start with the word Nexus. Nexus means origin. All a Nexus letter does is establish if the origin of the disability was in service. A lot of people think because it's not in my medical record, I need a Nexus letter. You do not. Depending on what you did for your job, millions of other people did too, and they already successfully made claims. So if your job title was jumping out of, rappelling out of a helicopter, jumping out of an airplane like a paratrooper, and you're constantly landing and hurting your ankles, knees, backs, hip, it's evidence by what you did, they're going to side with you because you did that job. Nexus letters, in my opinion, are for outstanding circumstances or weird niche disabilities. They're for things that don't get rated very often, that you're one of the only people that have it, or you're trying to tie something that you kind of know the VA doesn't really like to give this disability. But if it's orthopedics and TBI and, stomach issues, mental health, you don't need a Nexus letter always. We'll tell you if you do. You're better off, in my opinion, doing a DBQ. And here's why. Imagine that you are the VA rater, and now you get a, let's see, Raymond, I'll talk to you in a second. So let's imagine that you're a rater and you get a veteran's case on your desk. Do you want to read a 5-page Nexus letter that you don't, that's written by a doctor you never met and you don't know where to find anything, and now you're hassling yourself? Or do you want to look at a DBQ? They look at DBQs all day, every day. We will help you pre-fill out that DBQ. Your doctor just needs to write a couple lines and sign it. Doctors do not get paid to write Nexus letters. So DBQs, they see forms like this all the time and they'll sign off on it. Your regular practitioner. It's a much, much better situation for you. So before you go down the road of needing a Nexus letter, I would write in free claim review to 858-360-2227. I have a bunch here. Raymond, I would like to talk to the CEO directly. Raymond Perry, text in and say, I'd like to talk to Kate, and I'll remember if you can write down Raymond's name. Text in to 858-360-2227. Raymond, you and I can have a conversation. Michael says, Kate, I'm at 80%. I have several claims in, but just saw a podiatrist and have pes planus and plantar fasciitis, hammer toes, very chronic. I submit this now as I am waiting? When you have a few claims in, our best practice would tell you, let them get adjudicated. What we don't want to do is just fire every single gun and throw all the noodles at the wall and hope they stick. Let's not confuse the VA. Now, if you are at a situation, Michael, where you have major claims and haven't gone to your CMP exam prep, a very cool kind of way to double dip with VetComm is get involved with us now. Let us prep you for the claim we didn't make, help you win those claims. Once those are adjudicated, then we get to make a fresh round of claims. That would be my best advice to you. But that strategy, I need to know more. So write in 858-360-2227, free claim review, and let's see if that would be a good fit. Linda says, just signed up last week for my husband, and we did our first phone call with Crystal last Saturday. She was so sweet. I finally feel like I found the answer to my prayers. She actually wrote me about you, Linda, and it actually made my day that day. I love that we're going to get you the help we need. Rick says, is your process the same for retired reservists? It doesn't matter if you're a full-time or reservist when you got injured. No, if you got injured while you were serving, like we have helped people that went to 8 weeks of boot camp. So really not a lot's outside the bounds of our ability to help you. There are, extenuating circumstances that we can't help with, but it's very rare. I would say that we can't help about 5% of people, and it's not for reasons like this. So Rick, if I were you, I'd write in 858-360-2227, free claim review. Just signed up with VetComm in January 2025. Everyone listen to this. On May 12th, I got 100% PNT rated. That's pretty good freaking news. Outstanding. I don't know your first and last name, but we'd love to get a good review from you. Aiden, what did you have?
Don from TikTok asks, what sets you apart from other claims companies and what do you take?
Thank you, Don, for asking such a good question, because I was about to get into that. What makes us so unique and so great? So let's first compare us to the free services, right? Because a lot of times people aren't really comparing us to like a Vet's Guardians or someone else. They're really comparing us to somebody that's free. So I would say, look at the last free lunch you have had, and likely it was probably Panda Express or Subway. And that's about what you get with the free service. Yeah, you got to eat lunch, but it wasn't a very good lunch. It wasn't timely. It wasn't something that you would have liked. It would be similar to going to Disneyland. Sure, you're going to ride the rides if you pay to get into Disneyland. But at those that get the Genie Pass, they get to cut the line. They get to ride all the rides, have no hassle whatsoever, and have an absolutely beautiful day. That's sort of the difference. Do you want to be in a stack of paper on a part-time, non-paid person's desk, or do you want an army of 150 people to go to war for you 12 hours a day, 7 days a week? That's one of the biggest differences. The other thing is that a free service, being accredited, they cannot coach you. So they're going to make a very mediocre, uninformed claim, not coach you. And while it didn't cost you anything up front, it's going to cost you probably $1 million. So we only charge, there's 3 ways to participate with us. One is if you pay up front, it's $11.97 one time, and that's it. So when you win and you get your back pay, you keep it all. We take nothing. Or you can make 3 payments of $500 or 6 payments of $350. Those are the 3 ways that you can get involved with VetComm. Certainly the best offering that we have is the $11.97. And while you're watching today, really listen up. You want to text in free claim review, because even if you're not ready today, but you're ready next week, if you're on this list, we're going to give you an extra discount for having listened to this lady chitter chatter on. So make sure you get on the list, 858-360-2227.
Choice 85 from TikTok asks, do you guys file the claims, and what is coaching?
So we file the claim with you. Anybody that files a claim for you without you being around is doing you a disservice. If they don't get from you exactly what you have and get whatever evidence you have and input it while you are watching, you're not going to remember what you put in. So here's how the process goes with us. Your very first appointment is going to be your strategy call. If you choose to enroll, they make your pre-claim appointment, which means we're going to make sure, can you use Zoom? Can you log into va.gov? And we're going to make that intent to file as fast as we possibly can. Then we're going to actually make your claim with you again. So now you know how to log on Zoom. When you get on Zoom, you're going to start telling your story to the claims agent. They're going to listen to what you say, distill it down to that 400 characters, put it into the system, whether it's a primary or a secondary, upload whatever evidence you have, help you fill out your DBQs, get all your ducks in a row, click submit. They're going to send you an email, a recap email. So you know everything that we claim. They're going to copy and paste it all in for you. And the coaching really is not so that you go and interact with the VA disingenuously. We don't want you to go and trick the VA. What we want is to ensure that you know who you're going to see, what they're actually asking you, and how it's actually going to go. Because, for instance, on an orthopedic appointment, your C&P exam starts from the moment you park your car. Because once you get inside the building and you look out the window when you're sitting with this doctor, you're going to notice your car is probably parked right behind them. So they watched you get out of your car. They watched you walk in. They have a video camera on you. When you're sitting there, they might even drop something to see if you bend down and pick it up quick. So if you didn't know that, you would just get out of your car and walk like normal and go in. They need to see your worst day. So that's just one of the many things. But the coaching aspect of it is, you're trying to find treasure. We have the map. We're going to take you directly to it. If you don't get coached, again, you're playing darts in the dark. You just got to I hope this person likes me. I hope it goes well. I hope this works. I wouldn't be risking, I hope, on a $2 million possible proposition. I would never do that. If I knew that much was at stake, I would want to know exactly where I was going.
We got someone in our comments spreading a little bit of misinformation. They're saying every vet in here don't go with VetComm because they're breaking the law. They think our service is illegal. So I don't know if the air on.
Our service is not illegal at all. There's nothing illegal about it. What you get from VetComm, we end up doing the claim filing portion as a byproduct of what you get when you enroll with us. So when you enroll with us, you're going to get you're going to get 5 or 6 different courses, voc rehab being one of them for the guy who asked about voc rehab. But you're going to get an intent to file course, a claim filing course, a home buying course, all these courses. You're going to get a workbook, a bunch of things that you can go through at your leisure. And when you enroll in that product, as a byproduct, we're going to make your claim with you. We are not making your claim for you. And as I said earlier, anyone making your claim for you is doing you a disservice, because they're going to file a bunch of stuff. Like a lot of these free services, they sort of cover their face and just check a bunch of boxes. And that is not what we do. We're going to file this with you. It is a very different proposition from everyone else. So we are not illegal. I was actually just with Doug Collins. I was invited to sit in his hearing. And then I spent 3 hours with him because they wanted to understand from our point of view, having served the most per capita veterans of any private service, how they could do better. So I think if you go research us, you'll find that we're a pretty legit organization.
Yes. And Kate has a video with Doug Collins that's pinned on our TikTok page.
Yeah, so if you want to go and look us up on TikTok, by all means, please do.
So we have a ton of good questions on TikTok.
Okay.
One of them is from Slingshot. What's the best evidence for sleep apnea?
The best evidence for sleep apnea is going to be your C&P exam. If you mean evidence that you need to submit, they're likely, though, to, if you're going to a private doctor, they might send you for another sleep study. That's a separate question from what are you going to tie sleep apnea to. So I want to give a disclaimer for everyone watching who has never filed for sleep apnea, but you intend to. In August, they're going to pivot out of automatic 50%. It's already hard to get the 50%. I'm telling you right now, you need to get your intent in and file this and win, hopefully before August, because what they want to do is they want to award you for sleep apnea, saying you have it. it is our fault, but because you have a CPAP machine, we're not going to pay you. So they're going to give you a 0. So I would get going on that, but they're always going to do an examination unless you have a really fresh one. Somebody here said, what if a person is receiving 0% compensation, but it's service connected? So a lot of people, when they come to VetComm, will go, well, I got denied for everything. You haven't been, you haven't been denied. You just haven't convinced them that they should pay you. So there's 3 tenets to getting paid. This is a big deal. 3 things. Number 1 is that you have it. So if they agree you have it, that checks number 1. Number 2 is you have it because of us, because of service. And number 3, it affects me now. Where veterans miss is on the it affects me now. We have this hero complex and we go in and we're sort of like, I'm good, I'm fine. Like, I'm like, it's not really that bad. Well, then they're like, okay, fine, you have it, but you clearly don't need to get compensated. So if you have a 0, we probably need to go in and ask them to re-rate it, make sure you know how to act and behave in that appointment, and then you can move that 0 to say a 20. And there's probably a lot of other things that you have not done. I have one here that says, can you file supplemental claim and secondary conditions at the same time, or is that not recommended? You can file a lot of different things at the same time. Sometimes somebody has an open HLR claim and it's been open forever. We might go put in some new claims. But for everybody who's wondering what is a supplemental claim, in my version, the easiest way to explain it is you made a claim to the VA and they said, no, we're not going to service connect it. We're not going to pay you because maybe you didn't have much evidence. So a supplemental gets sort of a refresh, a restart on this. And we're going to submit a new piece of evidence, whether that's a lay statement, buddy statement, DBQ, something that we find and help you put together. We're going to do a supplemental and sort of start it over. I would always tell a veteran, unless there's some outstanding reason and you had evidence and they declined it, don't do an HLR. If you don't have any new evidence and there was no evidence in the first place, you're not likely to win unless they told you they messed up. So we want to go with a supplemental claim. Let's see. VetComm's a legitimate company. Stop lying on these great people. Awesome CEO. Thank you, Carl Jones. Appreciate you. All right. What else do you have?
Comment from...
We're always going to have haters. Look, I'm not pizza. Okay. Just not.
Yeah. Is there some sort of change happening to the VA in August? Because they saw the CivDiv.
Yeah, if you saw the CivDiv and Veteran Info Tap talking about what's coming in August, it's not just for sleep apnea. The biggest changes actually are coming from mental health. So we always tell people, if you are thinking of getting going on any of these high value claims are 50% or more, 30% sometimes, but 50% or more. Mental health should always be 50 to 70%, not 0 or 30. You want to get going on that, on sleep apnea, on some of these things, because the VA is realizing like, oh my God, these people are getting better at making their claims. They're getting coached like, holy shit, we're out billions and billions of dollars. How can we make it harder? How can we change the rules? How can we change the playing field? And a lot of those changes are coming in August. If I were you watching and you are wanting to make any claim really, and you slam them in before August, text free claim review to 858-360-2227. I have a couple here, but go ahead.
Robert, who I guess is with us, said, I had my appointment with Eric on April 30th. I have my CMP exam on the 13th of next month. Will I get a call for coaching before that?
So for any of you that are in our process, when we make your claim, it's going to be anywhere from 2 weeks to 30 days or so before you have your CMP exams. We have a CMP exam library for you to brush up on. But when you're within 3 to 5 days of your appointment, maybe a week, you want to call in and say, hey, I have a mental health appointment on this day, and we'll get you in and get you prepped. We don't want to do it too early because there's slippage. We don't remember everything. I know I don't remember everything. So you want to do it as close to the appointment as possible. And the coolest part is it's me that made the CMP exam prep video. So if you watch those like right before you go in too, it'd be like me sitting in the car with you, telling you exactly what to go say. So you get both. You get a one-on-one prep and those reminder brush up videos. Here I have, I got 10% for hypertension, which gave me 60. Paid, only being paid for 50%. Jim Breyer, write in so we can actually get in with you in va.gov and see what's going on there. 858-360-2227, write in free claim review so we can actually look at what you have. Go ahead.
There was one question I found earlier. I think it was, if I have an active claim or an active intent to file, can I add more claims?
If you have an open intent to file, like during that 1 year window, yes, you can add more claims. And that's something that we absolutely do, especially for people that came to us with a low number of claims, like they arrived here with some claims. We might go, hey, we could probably add 2, 3 more things you hadn't thought of. I have one here, Joe Alcala. You're in our system. Write in now and say, I'm in your system. I need help. 858-360-2227 so they can get you over to customer service and get you into an appointment.
I have Matt from TikTok.
Hello, Matt.
I only had one CMP exam for my increase, but still waiting on my CMP exams for my new claims. Any advice?
I don't know if you're a customer or not, but if you haven't had your CMP exams for things that are open, this is a good time to get involved, because if you get involved now, you get to double dip. We're going to prep you for these open things. They will get adjudicated. You will win something or lose some of them. You know, you're going to have some you win, some you lose. And then we get to make a fresh round of claims and prep you for all that. So if I were you, I'd write in free claim review, and let's look at what are the claims you have open. 858-360-2227.
Matt says he is a customer.
He is a customer. Okay. Then, yeah, you can still write in, and somebody on the team can actually have more further dialogue with you. Let's see. I have someone. Hi, Kate. Thank you. In VetComm, you were able to get to 100% PNT. That's what we like to see. I worked on radar systems. They told us it would make us sterile, and it did. But I was told you can't file for that. So there's a lot of different workarounds. So sometimes people, based on the principle, will want something rated and it called this, right? But there's other things that we could get you rated for that are in the same category of things that we will get you rated for. So for example, let's say that somebody says to me, I have, PTSD, personal trauma, and I'm rated at 50. No, I have PTSD, personal trauma. It's rated at 50%. But I'm only actually on the menu rated for PTSD. I want them to fix it. As much as you want to fix things for principal, don't do anything with the VA for principal because they will use that as an excuse to go, oh, you didn't like what we called it? Oh, well, let's get you back in for an exam and see if we can't go backwards. So you guys got to be very careful with the VA. When you're at 100, we don't recommend you poking the bear unless you're going to get rated for something you may pass from, when you want your family to make sure they get the DIC benefits and all of those things. That's fine. But, sometimes we just got to take the W and go, okay, whatever, I won, and walk off. And we can have that whole principal discussion as a sidebar, but we definitely don't want to have it with the VA. Here I was denied 2023, filed again in 24, was rated 60%. Is it too late to go back? I think maybe you mean, is it too early to go back since you were just rated? But either way, it's never too late or too early to go back. You could get a rating and the next day say, I didn't get enough. It doesn't really matter. Then they don't really know, quite frankly. I mean, it'd be nice if they had the wherewithal to really look that deeply into what you're doing. They don't. And the other thing is it too late to go back? This is just a broad answer to everyone watching. Let's say you've been out 10 years, 20 years, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. We've helped people that have been out 60 years. They're in the 90s. They thought it was too late for them for years, for decades. And then they come to us and they're like, really? At 99, you got me to 100% and I missed out on, like, say, $3 million? So it's never too late. If you're watching me right now and you're like, man, I should have done this back when. No, you should do it right now. And you need to text in free claim review. Get on the list, 858-360-2227. Here it says, you're a great ambassador and your message is real. Thank you so much, Tony. I don't always get the most love. It's so, you would think as much good work as we've done, just to give everyone an idea. We have helped 14,000 veterans in the last 14 months secure $4.5 billion. So you can make me out to be the villain in your story. Toodaloo, you're more than welcome to do that. But we are literally doing Marvel level work over here, like the Avengers. We're like avenging you, and I will take that to my grave with me. We do the best work. Are we perfect people? No, we're not. As you can see, a couple people have been trying to get a hold of us, and I literally said, right now, reach out, and we'll call you. We're not perfect people, but we do really great work. Go ahead.
Heath from TikTok.
Hello, Heath.
Says, is it a bad idea to get surgery on a body part that has a percentage?
Is it a bad idea to get surgery on a body part that has a percentage? So I will tell you this, very rarely, if ever, does the VHA, the Veteran Health Administration, talk to the VBA. They talk to each other when the VBA fetches information from the Veteran Health Administration. So if you are already rated for it, they're not really going to know you got surgery. What will happen though is if you're actively trying to get, like, let's say your knee rated, and in the middle of this process you go get a knee replacement, yeah, they're going to say, we're going to give you 0 because we just gave you a new knee. Yeah, you had a bum knee, but we fixed it and you're welcome. Take your Motrin and march on. And so it kind of depends on where you are in that process. Maybe text in 858-360-2227 so we can dive a little bit deeper into that issue. Let's see. So Rick said you signed up, paid in full. Rick, right now, write in so that somebody in customer service can get you the answer you need on your next step. What is your next step in our process so that you have no confusion? 858-360-2227, and make sure you tell them I'm already a customer, but I have questions, and somebody will get you to the right person.
Dawn from TikTok.
Hello, Dawn.
Asks, why is 100% permanent and total better than just 100%? What is the difference?
So it's a really good question. We actually have, when I started this company, I was surprised that people that were 100% were coming to us, but they weren't P&T. So permanent and total basically means that one or more of the body of your claims has reached a point where they don't think they're going to get better. And even if one of them do, it's not going to take you down below that 100% level. So for me, I reached P&T. They looked at my claims and said, these orthopedics aren't going to get better. The mental health isn't going to get better. Her stomach issues aren't going to get better. They're static. They've been there forever. So P&T means you can collect all of the 100% disability benefits, which is amazing, but you can still work. So you can be the CEO of a company. You can, you can work in a car dealership. You can do whatever and earn as much as you want. When you're 100% not P&T, like you're 100% just for mental, just for something, typically they're going to want you to only make a certain amount per year. So if you don't want a ceiling on your earnings, it's always good to flip it to P&T, and that's something that we can help you do. We can do an analysis of what of your things is missing that they don't view as static. David Fettis, write in now and say you'd like to speak with Kate so I can get to the bottom of your feelings. 858-360-2227, and then you and I can have a conversation when I'm off, either tonight or tomorrow. Go ahead.
Christine Collin from TikTok.
Hello, Christine.
Says, I'm so scared to try again. I'm at 50 for SA, which is
like, I know exactly what it is. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So,
okay. So it has occurred to me that the VA preys on your anxiety. They prey on your anxiety and your depression and your analysis paralysis. And because they know that we have this veteran anxiety, I'll type it in. They prey on it, and they know that if they keep you scared, you won't go and make that claim, because they know especially that if you go from 50 to 70, obviously you go from $1,000 to almost $1,800 a month. But once you get there, it's a lot easier to tie in all those secondaries. So they hope that you sit there scared to poke the bear, scared to pull the thread back, scared to ask for more. Just take what you have and F off. That's basically what they hope that you do. But that's not what's good for you, because you wouldn't be thinking that you should go back for more if you thought you had everything you were owed. So you don't believe you have everything you're owed. So you need to go back. And if she wants to if you want to talk to me directly, because you and I have a similar background as to why we're rated, I'm happy to have this conversation and speak some energy and power into your life and get you where you're trying to go. But write in and say, I need to speak with Kate, and then put SA there just so that they know. 858-360-2227. And let's have a real conversation about whether this is your time to go and kick the bear, and I'll go kick the bear with you, and we'll get you paid what you're actually owed and get you the recognition that you deserve.
Logan asks, can I get my benefits while I'm in Germany? I'm a vet and I've been out for 3 years.
We help vets all around the world. You can live wherever you want. And a lot of people, live in the Philippines, they live in Thailand, they live down in Mexico. They're going to do your consults through Zoom. So you definitely want to have the preparation. Anytime you're going to do a Zoom conference, if you're not prepared, you're likely to get annoyed by the tech. You have poor lighting and not emote and convey properly to that rater. And while it might seem like great to be able to do it from home, we don't quite see the same result with people who are not prepared. And the cool part for you is when you do this with us, you get a lot of practice of doing it online. And that's a really good thing for you. So yes, you absolutely can. And for anybody who's stationed somewhere folks. Like, let's say that you're getting out and you're stationed in Germany and Japan. Ton of these people, we help people when they're transitioning for BDD. And the other coolest part is, guess what? We're a skill bridge company, meaning that the DoD said, hey, VetComm's a great place for active duty military personnel to work. So not only can you get your claim going, you can actually come and work at VetComm in our claims department. And the day that you transition, guess what? You have a paying job and a team and purpose, and you don't have to transition all by yourself wondering what you're going to do.
Kirch asks, do I need a VSO to do my initial file if I have all my medical records?
Do you need a VSO to do it if you have all your medical records? So if you have all your medical records, that's awesome. You can do it yourself. You can have VSO do it. You can do it with us. Having your medical record in hand doesn't really change who should do it. I mean, people come to us with no records, a mountain of records, needing Nexus, whatever it is. It's making the correct claim in the correct order, tying the things together correctly. Because just so you guys know, that little 400 character box, it is now read by AI completely. People do not read it. So if you don't put in what the computer wants to see, you automatically will not get an appointment. We know this because we got rated one of the guys who built that system. So we know exactly what has to go in that 400 character box. That's why people get seen so quickly and at such a high rate by using us, because we know what to put in that box. But it's also about being prepared. So you can have all the evidence in the world, best evidence ever, go and fail your CMP exam and lose. So it's sometimes the people that have no evidence but better preparation will beat the person who only has the evidence. So it's, something that you need to chat with us about. 858-360-2227. If you are hot, get the fan from Tim's office, plug it in and point at us. I'm a little hot too. I got this hot light on us like we're over here making a movie. Okay, go ahead.
Anthony asks, he says, I'm stuck in step 5. Approximately how long should I expect it to take for completion?
So we get a lot of people. I want to address the steps in the va.gov system. I want to address something that everybody has a feeling for, and then I'll address this exact step 5 question. So what we want to do as veterans, the second we get examined, we want to go check va.gov and see where we are on the steps. You could go from step 5 to step 7 back to step 5 a bunch of times and give yourself just massive anxiety. Sort of like when you're dieting, they tell you don't weigh yourself every day because there's probably not going to be very much incremental change. If I were you, I would set like Thursday or Friday, set yourself a little reminder. Bing, my phone goes off. Oh yeah, I got to check va.gov. Let us not check it every single day. That's a horrible practice. It's just going to make you lose your mind. And by the 5th time you check it, you're going to feel like it's been a year and it's been a week. Okay. Now, if you're at step 5, you could go from step 5 to being rated like the next day, so for me to tell you when it's going to be, if we made your claim, our average time to first rating is 4 months. So if we're the ones that made your claim, it's going to take roughly 4 months. Some people it takes longer because they had more claims. Some people it takes less time. We've had people take I have Aiden sitting here with me. It took his dad 32 days to go from 90 to 100. I personally made his claim for him and prepared him. That's not everyone's story, but certainly people get rated in 32 days. Some people get rated in 6 months. But for the most people, we get them 70% or more in 4 months or less, which is pretty freaking outstanding when you compare us to the rest of the world.
Preacher from TikTok says, I'm really skeptical. I feel like you guys might scam me. So how can we anybody skeptical?
People should always be worried about getting scammed, and there's nobody worried about getting scammed more than veterans because people prey on veterans. I was just in a hearing watching Doug Collins talking about this very thing. And so I would say to you, if you go with a company that doesn't give you in writing what their guarantee is, yeah, you should be worried. But VetComm has basically a no risk proposition, because if we can't get you more after 2 tries for the same amount of money, so we're going to go to bat again. After that second try, you get to go a 3rd try or get your money back. Everybody who goes through our process and lets us actually do our work, whether it takes us 1 or 2 times, ends up getting rated. And if you don't, it's only happened 3 times that we ever had to give people their money back. That's pretty good news. Okay, so I think you're safe. It would be like getting bit by a shark in a pond to have us not help you. We put in writing what our guarantee is to you, and anybody who's not willing to do that, you should run from them. Our terms and conditions are very well spelled out. I'm a Desert Storm veteran. I filed my first claim in 1992 within 1 year of discharge and was told my conditions were acute and denied. How does someone overcome this situation? So Raymond, they're probably not going to be able to go back to 1992. And in that era that you served, they flat denied a ton of people. There was no PACT Act era stuff, presumptives going on. It's time we take a new at bat. They probably might even not even have a record of this thing you did in 1992. It's time that we just go back, because a lot of the things from Desert Storm are now presumptives, and you win them pretty easy as long as you're prepared. So I would write in again, 858-360-2227. I can testify. Check out my testimonial. I hope that they do. Ralph, congratulations. If you are growing extremely fast and hiring a lot of new people, how are you assuring good quality control? So to become a claims agent in our company, it takes 45 to 60 days. They watch nearly 200 claim filings, and then they make the claim filings while they get watched by someone else. Is every single person absolutely perfect? No, they are not. But they have a team of 40 people that they can tag in, and their supervisors are on Zoom all day long. We try to put you, if you have a very complicated case, we're going to put you with one of our senior reps. If it's your first time making a claim, everyone in our organization has so much training every single week. Every new thing that comes out, we come out with the latest, greatest stuff. We do amazing work. I don't think you won't find a VSO trained as much as our people. Do you know that the average VSO here in California makes eight claims a month? Our people make 8 claims a day. They are way, way, way more experienced, talk to way more veterans, look at way more evidence than any other group. So that's how you would know. And if you guys ever get on with someone and you're not vibing with them, you can always tell them, hey, this isn't working for me. Can you make me an appointment with someone else? You're more than welcome to switch reps. Like I said, it's not a hostage situation. We want you to be happy, and that's fine. So I called in about the warranty because I didn't understand. He turned it into a rude car salesman and said, do you want to sign up now? Whoever said that our salesperson wasn't very nice, I would love to have you looked up in our system so I could see who talked to you, because maybe they had a bad day, because people have bad days. That's very rare for us. Our enrollment team are usually like our most pep in the step group that we have, but I would love to get to the bottom of it, do some more training with them, and I'll make sure whoever you talk to this time, you said you still want assistance, and we'd love to assist you. And I have a huge crew on right now. So write in right now that you'd like to talk to somebody new. 858-360-2227, 858-360-2227. I see there who you talk to. We'll make sure you don't speak with them again.
Someone on TikTok asks, if I have an open claim, am I able to still try and file with you guys?
So if you have an open claim right now that's not been adjudicated, and especially if you haven't gone to your CMP exams, there's not really a better time. And I got to explain it a couple of times, but you essentially get to double dip. Okay, so we're going to prepare you for those exams. Those are going to get adjudicated. You'll win some, you'll lose some, and then you get to get a fresh set of claim filings and a new CMP exam prep. So you get to go twice. So it's pretty exciting. See, Bluff and B says, I'm 18 months out from separating. Is it too early to sign up? It depends on if you're active duty service personnel or if you're a reservist. If you're a reservist, do it whenever you want to do it. If you are 18 months out, some people will sign up with us. We do tell you, though, that you can't make your claim right now, but what you can use this for is to run through your strategy of what you need to be claiming, what you need to put in your record. Because you might talk to somebody on our team once you sign up, and they might say, hey, it doesn't look like you've gone to the doctor for psych. It doesn't look like you memorialized your plantar fasciitis. It doesn't look, so we're going to say, hey, you need to go see this doctor and that doctor and these, and make sure they put this in. And we can help set up the strategy. That way, when we're ready to make the claim, the evidence exists. We win, you exit as high as you possibly can.
ComVet Rubes from TikTok says, question, VetComm customer here, currently 60% rated. Does the VA set CMP date, or can I choose? I've been in exam review not performed for 85 days.
For 85 days. So here's what I would tell anybody. This is a number you need to put in your phone. It's the 800 number to the VA. It's their 1000 number. This is the catch-all number. If I were you, our current customer, 1, call us, but 2, call 800-827-1000. That's the catch-all number, 800-827-1000, and say, hey, I would like to get my exams and see why you haven't got them. And then, we can work on those things together. Richard says, I'm really interested in employment with you and would like to talk to someone about information. Richard, write in and say, I'd like to work at VetComm. And to 858-360-2227, we're always hiring, teams always expanding. And this says, do you have a business card we can give out after we have been with you, so I can give to friends that need it? So we don't actually have business cards. We're thinking of doing that, but we are about to deploy a very formalized, easy to use affiliate program. So you'll have your QR code and your link that you can text every single person, and it will automatically tie them to you, so that in the payout system, we make sure that we get you that referral fee.
Kim from TikTok says, I'm 50% PTSD, 40% TBI and some 10s, Purple Heart recipient, and I'm at 80%. How hard is it to get to 100%?
Did you say you're 50% for mental health?
PTSD, yeah.
For PTSD. So the lowest hanging fruit you have when you have a mental health rating, if it's 50, the difference between 50 and 70 is one thing. And it's the S word I'm not allowed to say because I'll get blocked on here. But it's, if you are unalived at your own hand, if you ever think about doing that, I hate that we have to be so covert here. It's so ridiculous. God forbid we talk about anything worth a damn on here, anything real with veterans. But if you ideate, ever think about slamming your car into a wall, think about any of that, that's a difference really between 50 and 70. So that's some low hanging fruit. Moving that needle automatically move you to 90. But getting from the easy move to 90, from 90 to 100, now we need to tie in some secondaries, especially to some orthopedics. Let's say you have a back problem. Well, your back's probably causing neuropathy, radiculopathy, a bum knee, a bum ankle. So we got to be smart and move 10s to 20s and add secondaries. It's like layering in, stitching new rows until we hit it. If I were you, I'd get a strategy call. We can do your real VA math so we know what the numbers are. 858-360-2227. If I were you, everybody watching, and don't wait to do it because I'm not going to be on that much longer, you need to text in free claim review. And here's why. If you ever choose to do business with us in the future, whether it's today or any other day, if we have your name on the list from this live, we're going to give you a discount. So text in 858-360-2227 for no other reason than to secure your spot, get your discount for when you're ready. But there's never a better day to get rated than right now. Stop watching, start winning. While you are watching me, you have just lost likely $100 because every single day that clips by, you are losing up to $100 a day. So our entire fees, let's say you hit 100 in a week and a half, you could have paid the whole thing. That the proposition here, sometimes veterans are it seems too good to be true. It's only too good to be true if you don't take on the opportunity, right? You're letting all these other veterans, these heroes that you think serve better than you, go get what they're owed, but you're sitting there on the bench, in your trench, not running at the VA full speed. That's what we need to be doing. Give that to me. Give me all that anxiety and depression and whatever, and let me go cram it down the VA's throat, get you paid for it. Let's see. Maine said, I just texted and got a booking for a call tomorrow. Our staff is on it. I have done 2 CMP exams. I have another 2 coming up. I lost the information for the person who contacted me. I'm starting to lean toward using you guys. I would reach out now because we have in our system who you spoke to before. And we're offering a pretty good discount today, Brian. It's 858-360-2227. Let's have a secondary conversation. I would say half the veterans in our system, the third time they spoke to us, they enrolled. So not everybody does it on the first try. I will tell you, if you don't do it on the first try, you might blow through $3,000, $4,000, $10,000 while you wait. And I'm not one for waiting when I know money's on the line.
We got a question here from TikTok. I'm a veteran and I don't have PTSD from service, but I have it from law enforcement. Is PTSD as a secondary difficult to get?
Okay, so let's define what a primary and secondary are so that we're all talking about the same thing. A primary condition from service is it happened in service. It was event-driven, exposure-driven, or long-term exposure-driven. So an event-driven could be like you got shot at. It happened at an event. You fell off of something, broke something. You saw something like in combat. That's event driven, right? But then you can have things that are long-term exposure. Like maybe it wasn't an event, but you marched a lot over a long period of time, or your anxiety exposure was working on the flight line for years, long-term exposure. A secondary is this primary thing caused the secondary thing, like a bum back will cause neuropathy and radiculopathy and a bad, knee, ankle, hip. That's how we tie them together. There's a lot of things secondary to orthopedics, a lot of secondary things to mental health, like my stomach issues. I have IBS, GERD, and Barrett's esophagus. So when you string them all together, now we're getting a more high value claim. Let's see, I have not filed a VA claim and would like to start. How would I go about getting started? My medical file is missing, but I've been going to doctors throughout the years. Perfect. You probably have enough evidence and your good memory and your mouthpiece. So Lee, if I were you, I would text in free claim review to 858-360-2227.
Sergeant Ballard says, thank you for helping me. He's been in the chat.
I know who you are.
Giving us, yep. He wanted to be recognized. So
I have recognized you. Why don't you text me anymore? He was like, he's from the way back. But I'm glad you got rated.
Tyler says, urinary frequency is a VA claim?
Yep.
How do you get diagnosed with that? LOL. And what are the symptoms?
So urinary frequency is something that's like not provable. And so it basically means like you have to go pee a lot and often. It's very self-explanatory. It's like this weird low-hanging fruit thing that can get you 20 to 40%. And they give it to most everyone who claims it because they count on you not claiming it because you don't want to go talk about having to go pee all the time. Like they know you're not going to go claim IBS because you don't want to go talk about having diarrhea. Go talk about it and get paid. That's what I would tell you to do. Don't be shy about any of these things. A lot of things, just like tinnitus, they have no idea if you have tinnitus. They're going to say you didn't do a job that would give you tinnitus, but they don't have any idea whether you have it or not. They can test your hearing though. So this is one of those things they can't really test for. If you feel like you go pee too much, you might as well get paid for it. What else you have?
Can exposure to extreme cold be used as a nexus for asthma? I was diagnosed while I was in and underwent MEB.
So if you were diagnosed for it and you got an MEB, I'm wondering if you got rated for it. It doesn't sound like you did, or you might not have asked that question. But there's a lot of things that cause asthma. And cold exposure can, because it does sort of change the DNA of your lungs. If it killed a portion of your lungs, it could end up giving you asthma. But a lot of people can also get sinusitis, rhinitis, and a bunch of other things. So why don't we have a longer conversation about that? Text in free claim review to 858-360-2227.
I have PTSD and I've not been seen yet, but I was offered an appointment. I think maybe a CMP. Should it be in person?
So this is just one lady's opinion who's helped 14,000 people in the last 14 months. I would say that at all costs, go to a CMP exam in person. If it is a mental health exam, we will tell veterans, call them back and tell them, because you have a tendency to want to retreat a little and do it at home because it's more comfortable for you. But it's uncomfortable for how much you're going to get rated. You want to tell them, hey, I'm just really not that good at the tech. I'd sort of like to get in front of you. Because when you're in front of people, you can affect them with your energy. See, the difference between you getting on this medium, talking to people, and me doing it is I do it every day. So my energy is high. I can affect how you feel because my energy is high. And I do this all the time, so I'm not worried about the tech piece. You don't do it every day. So you might be more shy. Hey, I don't know this person. The lighting's crap. I got irritated getting on. My dog's barking. I'm already feeling like I'm going to lose. Where if you go in person, all that anxiety is going to come off as anxiety. And then they're going to get to see with their eyes like, oh, crap, this person's like nervous. Like, oh, shit. Okay, yeah, they're probably have perfectionism and hypervigilance and all these other things. Go to war for yourself. We're going to prepare you good enough that you can rally enough energy to get your butt in there and get yourself what you are actually owed. And I want to say, because I said the word owed, and I want to address something with you very important that has really nothing to do with whether or not you're going to use VetComm. It has to do with your own life and your own psyche. Many veterans, when I first started this, would tell me, I don't feel like I deserve this because somebody more heroic who lost a limb, one of my other buddies, all these other people from other wars, they deserve it more. And I am not a health psychologist or a counselor. So I'm not even going to tackle whether you deserve it or not, because if you believed you did, it wouldn't be holding you back. Okay. So we're not going to unpack that. What I would say is you are owed it. So think about that for a second. I'm owed it. You will go get every dollar you're owed. If you felt like I owed you money, trust me, you would MF me into giving it to you. You would work very freaking hard to get the money that you are owed. So why then, when we're owed money from the VA, do we suddenly like shrink and get small? You delivered yourself whole to the service. You came out less than whole, every single person. And whatever that delta is, whether it be 10% or 100, you are owed the money. And do you know how I know this? There is an account at the VA, essentially has your money in it. And like an hourglass, the sand the money is ripping out of it. And if you're not a person like me, I'm not a super fan of what they're doing with my money. I don't want them to have any more control of my money than is necessary. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be a better steward of my money. Guess what my family needs? My family needs groceries. Why would I let you keep my money? I need a new truck. I need to go on vacation. We have veterans that would tell us, Kate, I can afford the good cheese. When I heard I can afford the good cheese, I thought, oh my God, like we're affecting down to the cheese level. We have helped make 283 new homeowners. People are buying houses, getting the good cheese, going on vacation, getting engaged, just not having life be so freaking oppressive. So let's pivot our ideology from having to deserve something to flat being owed it, and then go, I think I could deploy myself. Get it, like if I could piss a veteran off enough, which is what I'm trying to do right now. If I could piss you off enough, you'll do nearly anything. You should be very mad at yourself and at the VA that the two of you convinced you that you don't deserve it. Because it's good for the VA if you believe that. It's bad for you. So you're owed it. You have my permission. Keep Monroe, CEO of VetComm, says, go get your damn money. You're owed the money. Anything else? Yep. All right. I have one last here. I have two. I would love a call from you. I'm in your program. Carlos, make sure that they get Carlos in contact with me. Anybody that's watching. I'm diagnosed with Tourette's. On active duty, went reserves and forced me out. They stated not service connected. If they allowed you in and it exacerbated your Tourette's, you absolutely are. That's a bunch of bullshit. Rodney, write in 858-360-2227. Let's have a conversation about your Tourette's. I don't know if you have tics or you say F words, but whatever it is, we'll get you paid for it. DJ on here, write in and say I need better customer service, and let's get somebody reaching out to you. 858-360-2227. Let's see, Anthony Franks. Let's see if we can get Anthony Franks in, somebody on the line, take him down and see if we can get him in any earlier. He is excited to file his intent, but if we can get him in any earlier, since he's watching me here on the live, let's go ahead and get him in. But I'm going to sign off for now. I'm going to tell you what to do one last time, because it's my favorite. I was in the Marine Corps and I'm a CEO. So I would say right now, if you're watching and you have not typed in free claim review to 858-360-2227, do it right now. Because when you're getting off the phone, you're going to go, shit, I should have listened to that lady. It's like when you're in the mall and you walk by and you're like, no, I'm good. And then you're like, crap, I actually need something from that freaking kiosk. And now I'm an a-hole and I can't go back. Right? So write in free claim review right now to 858-360-2227. There's absolutely outstanding people waiting to talk to you. God bless you. Godspeed. God bless America. Hoorah. Have a great day.